Fantastic. We really appreciate your patience during that 2020 episode that we had here. But we'll go ahead and get started with Cole Custer, our 2020 Sunoco Rookie of the Year. Cole, I mean, looking back on the season, you had a win, you made the playoffs. Just evaluate your season as the 2020 Sunoco Rookie of the Year.
I mean, definitely a lot of ups and downs. I think with any rookie year, it's like that. But this year was probably to the extreme, you would probably say. Just, not having practice, not having testing, not having qualifying. It definitely wasn't an easy year to be a rookie. But I think we all made the best out of it. And I think we all made a lot of progression throughout the year. And I think from our standpoint, to have a race win, to make the playoffs, I think, we can call it a success. I mean, do we want to run better a lot of the time? Yeah, for sure. But I think we definitely made some huge strides in, making more consistent runs. And I think it's just a matter of taking it to the next level to be consistently into the next group of cars.
Okay. We're going to open the floor for questions. If you do have a question for Cole, go ahead and click that participants tab and raise your hand. And our first question is going to come from Woody Kane. Go ahead with your question, Woody.
Hey, Cole, congrats. With all that you just listed off, I'm curious, going into this season, what did you think would be the most challenging or difficult thing for you? And then what turned out to be that during the year for you?
I think one of the biggest things is just how much different the cars are. From the Xfinity cars to the Cup cars, they're not really there's a lot of differences. So, especially when you go to the 550 package, it's all different. So, to be able to do all that, even before everything with COVID happened, this was the first year, I think ever that rookies haven't had any testing. So, there was a lot of unknowns even going into the year before COVID of, how we were going to adapt to that and how we were going to go about that the best way. So, it was just a lot of stress, I guess, adapting to something so new. And, obviously you're going up against a lot of guys that have been doing it for a career for a very long time.
Thank you, Cole. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Bob Pockris. Go ahead with your question, Bob.
Yeah, Cole, were you happy that the next gen was pushed to 2022 so you could kind of get a second year with this car that you've had pretty limited amount of time with?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially just from a standpoint of, with everything with COVID happening, not having the time to really develop as much as we want to and, go through different, changes with the cars. And for me to learn more, I mean, I think it's going to be huge. It's just, without that practice or testing, there's a lot of things that you want to run through that you're just not able to do. So having the more time, another year to kind of run through things in races will definitely help out.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Mark Garrow. Go ahead with your question, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks, Cole, for taking the time today. How do you balance out the fact, race drivers are never satisfied, right? No matter what you get, you want more. That's part of the breed. So how do you balance out if at the beginning of the year somebody said, you win a race, you make the playoff, you raise your hand, I'm in, I'm good. But how do you balance that with you did that and then you didn't get as far in the playoff as you wanted to? How do you balance that out in your mind?
Oh, well, like you said, I mean, that's just kind of part of being a competitor. And, you're supposed to always want more. So even though we won a race and, we had some good things happen, one rookie of the year, we want more. We want to run better. So it's just, that's just part of being a competitor, in my opinion. But at the same time, you do have to kind of look back through the year and say, like, where we started, look at it and then look at the very end to how far you've came and how much more now. There's a lot that you can look back on and say that we did really good. So it's just a matter of, you gotta take your little wins and you gotta, make sure that you're still working in the right direction to get better. So I know that we have a lot of things that we can get better. So I'm looking forward. I wish the season started honestly like next week so we get back going again because there's a lot of things I think we could get better the second year.
I was watching the other day. Somebody had linked up the PRN broadcast to the final laps of Kentucky. So I was just kind of watching that again. Have you watched that again? And I look at that videotape and I think, wow, that was a pretty sporty move for a rookie guy to be able to make. So have you looked back on that anymore, watched that anymore after you've done it and the season's over or later in the season?
I haven't watched it in a little while, ever since, close to the race. So I probably should, but because I need to be able to do that again. So, but you get so wrapped up in what you're doing at the moment, and you're trying to figure out what you can do better next week, and working on the next best thing. So I think it's just there are times where you gotta look back on those things and see what you've done, but there are most 90% of the time you're trying to look at the next thing and trying to do better.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Stephen Toronto. Go ahead with your question, Stephen.
Cole, under normal circumstances, you would have been headed to Nashville in a couple of weeks for Champions Week. How disappointed are you that you won't be able to make the trip this year? And in the same breath, how much are you looking forward to being able to race at the Super Speedway next June?
Yeah, I think it is kind of disappointing that we don't get to do the banquet in person. That's something that is a real privilege to go to, and to win an award like Rookie of the Year, it definitely means a lot, especially with the competition we had this year for it. We had some a really good rookie class this year, and I think we all adapted very well. But I think it definitely is a little bit of a letdown that we have to not do it in person. But at the same time, I'll take it, and it's award, and I'm gonna really appreciate it though. So I'm looking forward to it. And like you said, with the Nashville Super Speedway coming back, I think it's awesome to come back to Nashville. I think that's going to be, a really cool city to go to from what our sport is, and, that town. It's such a cool town. And also the track. I've only run there testing like 5 or 6 years ago in a truck, but I think it'll be an interesting race to see who can figure it out first.
And just for my knowledge, have you ever raced at the fairgrounds before?
I haven't. I've never raced at the fairgrounds before.
All right. Thanks, Cole.
Our next question will come from Chris Estrada. Go ahead with the question, Chris.
Hello, Cole. Thank you for taking the time out to speak with us today. As you alluded to off the top, it was a heck of a year to be a rookie. How important was it having 3 veteran teammates like Kevin, Clinton, Eric to bounce ideas off of, especially in situations where things may not have been working out the way you and your team were hoping for?
It definitely helped out a ton. To be able to, I pretty much talked to Kevin about, every, 3/4 of the weekends of the year. So he was a huge help throughout the whole year, and I can't thank him enough. And also being able to talk with Clint and Eric, everybody was a huge help. So to be able to have that kind of resources around you to kind of bounce ideas off of and see what they're thinking going into weekends and stuff like that it's invaluable. But at the same time, you do have to figure out your own way a little bit. Things that work for other guys isn't going to work for you. So it's a constant, you got to really, use your resources and talk to people and ask questions, and then also figure out your own path of what's going to work for you.
Thank you, Cole.
Our next question will come from Woody Kane. Go ahead with the question, Woody.
Hey, Cole, I just thought of something after I talked to you first. Just curious what your off season looks like. You mentioned not being able to go to the banquet and all that. So what are you going to be able to do?
I don't know yet. It's COVID. Anything's possible. It's 2020. So it's kind of just, playing it year by year. Day by day, and just kind of enjoying the off time for now, these first few weeks. But the thing is, by the first month or so, you're pretty much ready to get back in the car. So, you go over a lot of notes, go over pretty much every single race during the year, and try and figure out, what I could have done better. And you just try and go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And I think, if we do that and we have some really good ideas going into next year, I think if we can put everything together, I think we can have a really good shot at it.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Zach Albert. Go ahead with the question, Zach.
Great, thank you. Cole, you mentioned talking about having to navigate your rookie season under unusual circumstances. SHR is going to look a little bit different next year too. And what does this kind of mean for Chase Briscoe in terms of his ability to kind of adapt? And what have you seen from him so far in terms of what kind of Cup teammate he'll be?
Well, I'm really excited, honestly. I think me and Chase have a really good relationship. We've been teammates before at the Xfinity level, and and he's also, a pretty good friend off the racetrack. So I think we get along pretty well, and I think we can bounce ideas off each other pretty well. And I'm really excited about it. I think he'll do really well. And also, I think even with our cars, being able to have a full second year, under our belts with this package, it's definitely helped a lot. So hopefully, we can, try and dial things in for him pretty fast.
Got it. And how ready are you for 6 road courses on the 2021 schedule?
I'm looking forward to it. I think every driver is, honestly. Whenever we go to road courses, it's something that puts it more in the driver's hands. So I think everybody's looking forward to that, and all the fans, I think, are excited too, because we put on some of the best racing at road courses also.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, Cole, really appreciate your patience and you taking the time to join us today. Congratulations again on being the 2020 Sunoco Rookie of the Year, and enjoy some off season now.
Thank you. And thank you guys for reporting on it all year. Definitely means a lot. And it was definitely a strong rookie class, and it means a lot to win it. So thank you guys.
Take care, bud.